Okay, what's up, everybody? All WNOL's episode 3, I want to say. Um, Hosted by yours truly. I'll come up with a better intro as time goes on, but let's get into it today. The WNBA, the financial state of the W, and how can we fix it? I spent some time doing some research and some things, and what I'm noticing is the players want more money. The players want more money. CBA is coming up, and now it's time to restructure a deal. But people are clueless. I think that the general public, they're very clueless and they're not experienced in how this works. And I think there's so many running jokes about how the W is broke and they're gonna go out of business soon, whatever, whatever. I think it's time to educate. Um, yeah, just time to educate about the finances. So today we're talking about, is the WNBA broke? How can they fix it? And what do they need to do to better their chances? Because there's so much money coming in. But now it's like, okay, then the players need to see a share of that. So I'm gonna go through some notes and we'll talk throughout. I'm not just gonna be reading from the paper, but I did have to write some things down, and it's gonna all make sense in the end. Seeing a video of Angel Reese saying that, oh well, we're gonna sit out if you don't give us what we want, and it's like you can't really do that according to the CBA. So you can't just sit out. And the W doesn't have enough leverage to do so. But anyways, get into the notes and kind of break it down about where they are, what can they do to get to a better place. So it's important to understand that the W this season, the 2025 season, to be the last under the current CBA, then the two sides have to come to an agreement. The business side and the players, they have to come to an agreement and say, hey, okay, we've done this, we've increased revenue. How do we somehow get part of this of what we built? Like the players need to be paid more. I think they're getting paid 75K. They're flying commercial flights. That's not safe for your product. So it's important to understand that. Yeah, the players just can't sit out. The league doesn't have enough leverage. They can't really do that. Um, but all in all, the league has been increasing, right? Like ratings skyrocketed before Caitlin Clark, 142% increase in ratings. And I think it was around that same 100, it was 100+% ratings in the W finals. And that was obviously with New York. And, so the biggest thing is like, it's not just Caitlin Clark increasing the revenue, or she has immensely, but I don't think we should discredit the whole league as opposed to, we can't discredit everybody else just to lift someone up. She plays an integral part in the growth, and we understand that, but the league as a whole is growing. So I think it's important to put that in the factor too. Now, the players that have to supplement their income through other leagues, going overseas, and if they're serious about getting this money, you have to come correct at the negotiation table. Negotiation is, what do you want and how do you justify what you want? You can't just say we want more money because we want more money. It's not going to work. So you have to come with tangible facts, data, and statistics. And so as I was writing my notes down, I was like, okay, I'm just going to put myself in a position of, if they say, Isaiah, go and get us the best deal possible, um, then I would do a couple of these things. But here's some information that's going to build a solid foundation of where I'm going with this whole video. So this 2024 season, the WNBA made 200 million, but despite that, they still lost 40 million. So they were operating at a loss this year despite making $200 million, but the player's salary only account for only 9.3% of that revenue. That's a small percentage of 200 million, and that's why the players' salaries are so low. So for every team, their salary cap is 1.4 million. The max contract is around 241,000. And that's just now, right? Looking ahead, the W projects globally to make 2.3 billion. That is a lot of money. So the players should be looking to get paid. And I think Kelsey Plum was saying all she wanted was, they want to adopt the 50-cent revenue model just like the NBA. Just like the NBA. And I think what I'm about to show you is that this is what they need to show tangibly. Because I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, you can't just ask for revenue if there's no revenue made, but there's been revenue made. And so now they should go ask for it. So they made 200 this year. They're projected to make 250 million this upcoming season. So if they were supposed to adopt the NBA revenue model, and they were split it in half, 125, 125. 125 million, that would go towards players' salaries. Now they got to spread that amongst 12 teams. So the salary cap for each team will be around 10.4 million. Now, maximum contracts could be up to 1 million annually. That's really great. But that's also contingent upon what could be negotiated logistically. You all want to fly private chartered planes and all the logistical things that go into it that might have to go down. So in order to make sure you can at least get 1 million annually, you want to increase the revenue from 250 million to about 275 million to 350. So that 275 and 350 million, that should be the goal this year. We want to make between 275, $350 million in revenue, right? Because if you do that, if the rev goes about that 275 to 350, now you split that in two again, split that in half. The salary cap's now at $10.4 million each team. Now your estimated max is at between 2.5 and $3 million a year. So you think about what Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson for sure, max player amongst a bunch of others. And if this rev jumps up to 400 million, now we're talking 4 to 5 million annually, and that's not hard because if you're still operating at a loss, you made 200 million. Imagine when you have the marketing in place. That's why it's important to push a Paige Beckers and roll out the red carpet for her. And that's why it's important to implement other teams and just enhance the marketing because the marketing is horrible for the WNBA. And we got to fix it. So how do we increase the revenue? You want to expand the media rights deal. Just like the NBA does, we need something with Amazon, we need something with ESPN, we need something with Apple saying, hey, this is what the league is becoming. We need more eyes for more advertising potential. The second thing is you want to bring in more teams. So if I was in the meeting with the WNBA right now and they said, Isaiah, we want you to, the players said, yo, Isaiah, we want you to go get us the best deal. They're there to help you. So they're going to say, okay, Isaiah, so how can we help bring this to fruition? Okay, so for starters, we need to expand the media rights deal. We need Apple involved. We need Amazon involved. We need ESPN involved. We need to expand the visibility for more advertising potential. Two, we need more teams. Toronto has one on the way. I believe Cleveland. I think Detroit is coming back, maybe. I think Houston. And so more teams, more arenas being sold out, so on and so forth. Player visibility is at an all-time low. There needs to be a structured content pipeline from a storytelling standpoint, just like the NBA does. It's also going to be important to globalize the game. Exhibition matches overseas, streaming deals with international networks. So you might need to tap in with some overseas players. That's kind of what the NBA does. You see they're doing it with the French wave, trying to get the French guys in because there's going to be a business set up there that we don't even know about, but it's going to come to fruition. Um, Betting partnerships, DraftKings, FanDuel, that's pretty self-explanatory. A WNBA league pass and somehow monetize your fan base, that is going to be integral. The college pipeline, you should be welcoming the next with open arms, right? You need better media. The media is horrible for the W. Somebody says something, the whole league bashes them. There needs to be not only storytelling, there needs to be better analysis and not just a whole bunch of drama talk because there's so much more going on. And this is a bunch of women just catfighting. That's just not true. This is basketball being played at the highest level, and there should be a way to cover it that'll keep people intrigued. And if the league said, Isaiah, give me 5 reasons as to why we should do this. I would say, well, the NBA has it. So this is a logical split, especially with the increase in revenue. I would say the revenue is up. There's more money coming in, so we need more. The W is expanding. This makes logical sense. And how do you protect your players if they got to go overseas? You know what I'm saying? So just kind of broke down why is that important. And something else I also forgot to mention that Azzy Fudd of UConn is actually going to skip this year's draft because her coming in this year, she wouldn't see any of the new money coming in. So she wants to come in 2026. She's going to touch a lot of bread depending on her draft stock. Has a couple injuries. She's going to come back, get to round out her game for one more year, then take it to the W. And so I'm excited to see that. This is also integral that players might want to structure their deals a little bit different. I don't know who's done what, but if you go into the season as a free agent or your deal is up, you might want to make sure you're beginning 2026 fresh off of a 1 year deal. because you don't want to lock into it 2, 3 years, and then next year, once the money hits, you're not getting some of the new money. So top players like um, Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, especially Asia. Asia, think I'm just gonna go with Asia and Caitlin. So her deal should be structured to her when this new money hits. She's not missing out on it. I'm not sure how Caitlin Clark's deal works, so hopefully she got probably a 3, 4 year deal, but she got opt out after this season. So when the new money comes in, she gets the benefit off it, especially if she was an integral part in putting this thing together and an integral part in, bringing the W up. So there's a couple of things along those lines that was really stood out to me. But all in all, I think that's how you fix the WNBA's financial problems, and that's the best. So I hope this helps. I hope this gives you all a better outlook on how the money works, and yeah, I can't wait to see the game go forward. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, um, support, share. Peace.